All right, welcome back, Yu-Gi-Oh players. If you tuned into the banned list, this is now the limited list from the new list released from Konami, and we're going to get some thoughts from Roy Sinclair on what he thinks of the new limited cards put on the ban list. First up, Black Whirlwind.
Um, Honestly, I don't think Merlin should have been hit because TCG is a very balanced deck. The only reason it was hit is because for most of you out there, if you follow the OCG, which is the Japan metagame, that's the reason it was hit. Black Wings dominated Japan a lot. Whirlwind did not need to be hit. Whirlwind could still, two's good, not three, but we follow their list too accurately, and there needs to be a separate list, as most of you will obviously agree. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be a much better game because now that I know you've seen the ban list, you definitely agree with me that there needs to be separate lists. Like Dark Soul should have been hit, but we'll get on to that later. I do not agree with Whirlwind being hit. I think Blackwing should still be a deck because it's a great anti-meta deck.
And World Oppression seemed to come off too for the Blackwing matchup.
Repression is probably one of the most broken cards ever printed. Along with Brain Control and all those other cards. I agree with World Oppression getting hit. At one is good. Don't think it should be banned. At one is it's a good number. It's one of the things I agree with Konami entirely.
And I see Infernity's got hit with their Infernity launcher.
That's good. It doesn't completely destroy the deck because the new patrol monster, the bring you special from the hand, but Infernity's it pretty much kills him. But it doesn't kill him. It makes him more into a control deck. I was actually just in a conversation with my boy Josh Graham, teammate Hunger Force, and he really likes the deck. I'm not a big fan of it, but he really likes it. I think there's a lot of potential. I don't agree, obviously, but I think that Archfiend should have been a one along with in launcher and just kill the deck entirely. But I'm pretty sure it won't be a big factor in this format.
And many of our viewers might not be familiar with, and some of you may, but Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, was limited. Are you familiar with its text?
Yeah, I'm familiar with this text. I mean, if Infernity wasn't restricted with launcher, Trishula would be one of the best cards ever. But regardless, Trishula becomes a dominant force. There's a lot of decks that can still get into 9. There will be more loop decks that will come out, and Trishula will eventually be a problem. So I feel Konami's just getting rid of that point right now. They're putting it at 1 and making sure it's not going to be a problem in the future.
What do you think about the text where all it needs to be is special summoned?
That's also a problem. In general, I feel like the card should be at 1 or banned. But I mean, Darkstrike got banned, it's first single ever, and there needs to be restrictions on the other cards. Like I feel Bryo right now should be banned. I feel Mistworm should be up for discussion for banning. Black Rose should definitely still stay at 1. Yeah.
And in a surprise comeback from Konami, Monster Reborn has once again rejoined our format. What does the Roy Sinclair think about that?
Monster Reborn should not be back. Cards incredibly. There are cards like Autonomous Action Unit, where it's like still a card from the UI pay 1500. You guys, if you don't know what it does, you do now. People thought about running that just because you want to take a card from your opponent's graveyard, but you pay 1500, you don't run it, blah blah blah. Like Monster Reborn should not be back. Like especially GBs are ridiculous. They took away Cat, but Monster Reborn obviously special Gazars. Monster Reborn's way too powerful. In Infernity they get reborn. Obviously, they special Archfiend. It's just like a launcher. It sets the whole thing back online. Reborn should not be back. That was a mistake. Do Premature Burial. It's chainable. But Reborn is definitely a mistake in the format. They should not have brought that card back.
And in the ultimate surprise of all the cards I never thought I would be able to play with again, Dark Hole has entered our format.
Honestly, I don't think Dark Hole is nearly as explosive as Reborn. They get rid of Heavy, they get rid of Dark, bring back Dark Hole. They're shutting out Heavy, but Dark Hole really, I don't know, punishes bad players, and that's what Yu-Gi-Oh should be. You should not. I don't know. They shouldn't bring back. Well, they're not bringing back obviously cards like Faith and Brain they get rid of and Change of Heart. They're not going to because they're like game changing one turn swings. But Dark Hole, I think it's a balanced card, more so than heavy. Heavy's balanced, but I think Dark Soul is just, I mean, Dark Hole, sorry, it's just as balanced. There's enough searchers and recruiters and roads out there. I agree with Dark Hole. I really don't agree, bring out Monster Reborn, but Dark Hole, I think it's a good card.
With just the cards we've mentioned so far, what are a few cards you think are going to be staples necessary to counter what to expect in this future meta?
I mean, obviously everyone's going to take out Heavy and Brain Control and replace it with Monster Reborn and Dark Hole. There's a couple more things, but that's going to be the main switch. GBs have to have to add in a couple more cards because they usually don't run Brain Control and they don't run Heavy. But yeah, I don't know. Those are the format's pretty good, minus a few exceptions that I've mentioned.
What do you think about Starlight Road in this format?
I mean, it's a little better than it was last format. Last format, you were scared of Heavy, you were scared of Highway, you were scared of Icarus. You have no longer have to fear Icarus. You won't play that matchup. You no longer fear Heavy, but now you feel Dark Hole, and now you feel Black Rose. So, you give up the Icarus and Heavy for Black Rose and Dark Hole. So, that's your trade-off.
All right. Well, once again, I'm running out of that time limit, so we will cut this video short and tune in next time for when we record the semi-limited list